Hey everybody, this is Taylor Wyatt with Simplicity Real Estate. I'm here with Dan Longoria, or Grand Master Longoria is what we normally call him. And we're just going to talk to him a little bit about his business. And Dan, how long have you been involved with martial arts?
Well, I started in martial arts when I was 16. So I actually started in Shotokan Karate first, and I did that for about 4 years. Kind of did it off and on between wrestling season. I grew up as I was first introduced to the fighting arts when I was about 6 years old. We lived in California. I have 4 brothers, and every Friday we would watch Friday night fights from the LA Forum. My dad was a Golden Glove boxing champion out of Texas, and so that was how I was introduced to the fighting arts. That was our movie night, but it was at home on a black and white TV. Mom would make Jiffy Pop, so that was our treat. And Dad would sit there and tell us, "Watch, this guy's dropping his left hand. This guy's doing this." I mean, I was mesmerized by the fact that he would say, "This guy's dropping his left hand. Watch, this guy's going to catch him with the right." Or this guy's dropping his right hand. He's going to catch him with the left hook. And sure enough, boom, it would happen. And that just fascinated that he could see that. So even as a 6 and 7-year-old, I was already learning about fight strategy and technique. So even at that age, I didn't look at it this brutal thing. To me, it was art. It was a sport and strategy. So that's kind of started my career. So like I said, I think I was in first grade. Then we moved to Nebraska when I was about in 5th grade, and my brothers and I all got into wrestling. My cousins were already wrestlers, so I come from a wrestling family. We all wrestled all through high school and college. Between my 4 brothers and my 2 cousins, I think we have something like 12 or 15 Class A state wrestling titles. So big wrestling family. My older brother is actually a junior college national champ, and my cousin was the very first national champion from the University of Nebraska. Also says how old I am, yeah. But that's kind of our lineage. So I actually grew up learning boxing and wrestling. And then I wanted to, then Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and all those movies started coming out, and I wanted to learn how to kick because I knew how to box, I knew how to wrestle. I wanted to learn how to kick. So there was a karate club in a gym I was working out in, so I started doing that off season. Then in 1978, I joined a Taekwondo school, and I've been at it ever since. And I was my instructor at a school in South Lincoln. 27th and Highway 2, it used to be the Treasure City before there was ever a shop going like that. And he had a little school and a shopping center there. And that's where I started. So that would have been in 1978 that I started martial arts. So within a year, I was already teaching classes. I was actually a red belt. And I'd asked my instructor if he had my little brother. My youngest brother is 15 years younger than me. He was only 6 at the time. I said, "Hey, can I bring my brother to classes?" He goes, "Oh, we don't take him that young." Back then, they didn't take him that young. Maybe 10 years old was about the youngest. And I go, "All right, he's only 6." He goes, "No." And then about a month later, he goes, "Hey, you want to bring your little brother to classes?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Then you have to teach classes." I was like, "What?" "I'm a red belt." He goes, "I don't care. I need an instructor, and I'll let you bring your brother if you teach the classes." So I started teaching kids classes it was right before 1979, and I started teaching my little brother. So that's kind of how I started teaching. So 1978, when I first started teaching. 1979, within a year, I got my black belt, which was the fastest thing I ever got my black belt in my organization at the time. But I had 4 years of karate experience, so that really
sure.
helped me quite a bit, plus just other fighting experience. Then my instructor I taught for him. He was going to move away, sell the school, and decided, all right, I don't want to have somebody else come in. I don't know what they're going to be like. And I was not in the business of running a martial arts school. My family owned a Mexican restaurant here in Lincoln for 46 years. It was called Arturo's Taco Bell. And I have run that for about 35 years. So I was doing that at the time. That was my real job. Martial arts was my stress relief and my hobby, kind of my passion. And I decided, well, I got a few nights a week, between the other 60, 70 hours a week I was putting in working. So, and I was there teaching all the time anyway, so I bought this. So I bought the school in 1985. So I became a school owner in 1985, and I was in South Lincoln. And turned into a real successful school, had a huge school, and then I decided to expand. So I opened up my first school in North Lincoln, in the Piccadilly Square, in 1995. I had a little spot of about 840 square feet, smaller than this room we're in right now. Had about 15 students, and I've grown it since then. So that was in 1985, and now we have, our facility is just under 18,000 square feet, and we have 600 plus members in the school. So
Very
kind
cool.
of an overnight success of 40-some years.
And okay, so you said 600 some members, and what ages can they start? And talk about some of the programs that people can get plugged into.
Well, we have quite a few programs. We have Taekwondo is the main art we teach, and the Taekwondo program is the only thing we teach kids. So our kids program can start at as young as 4. We don't take all 4-year-olds. We do vet them because we want to make sure they understand that this is real kicking and punching. We're not a daycare place where we play a bunch of games. We make the kids focus on discipline and respect. But with that, we're teaching how to kick and punch properly, so we have to make sure they can comprehend what's appropriate, what's not. That's the main thing I'm looking for. Not whether they can do it or not, but if maturity-wise they're able to understand, hey, just because you get mad, you can't just go punch your little sister or punch another kid in the daycare. You don't want to become the terrors of the daycare. So you want to make sure they can comprehend what's right and wrong and understand that there are consequences for their choices. So that's the first thing we're looking for. But we do take them as young as 4. Our Taekwondo program can be as young as 4, and then up from there. We have some 16, 17-year-olds in the class. So they're all divided by age groups and rank levels, so that we can work with them appropriately. So the way we work with maybe a 4 to 9-year-old is one way. When they start getting to be 10, 11, 12, close to teens, we work with them a little different way. When they're teens and young, up into their 18, 19, it's another dynamic we work with them on. And then when they're 20 and above, you're adult. Your self-defense is totally different. So we work with them on the defense according to their age group and the reality of how they would have to use this in the street application kind of thing. With the kids, it's about building up confidence and self-esteem. That typically will take care of bullying issues. If they're withdrawn and very timid, we're trying to get them out of their shell to stand up for themselves, to be a little bit more aggressive. If they're super aggressive, because we get that too, try to teach them how to control their emotions and their actions and to make better choices. And so we'll take the kids that are maybe down here that are shy and get picked on a lot. The kids that are here, they're super aggressive and do the picking on, and try to bring them to a center point to where they are all under control. That's kind of the goal of our kids program. With the adults, it's more about conditioning. A lot of people come in because they don't like the gym, they don't like lifting, they don't like to run. They've always wanted to do martial arts, but they want to do something that's going to kind of like challenge them mentally too. So the Taekwondo is a really good way for them to get into. And then we get some people that are super athletes that they have that motivation. They just want to learn self-defense. Maybe they watch a lot of UFC and stuff. So we have programs that kind of go to that clientele. So we have a program that's called Krav Maga. It's an Israeli fight system, so it's really geared towards taking the martial arts and just stripping away all the fancy stuff. And it's basically just no-nonsense self-defense. If somebody's going to attack you, you may eliminate the threat. We do a lot of gun and knife defenses, those kind of scenarios like assault, abduction, carjacking, holdups, even attempted sexual assaults and other things we work on. So it's an adult program, no kids in that class. We do take some young teens, only if mom and dad take the class with them, so that they can have now when they leave class, there's a door open for mom and dad to talk to their kids about this is what could really happen, so it does open that door for them to have those conversations. So again, we'll take them below 16, but only with the parent. Otherwise, the Krav Maga program is an adult-only program, 16 and above. We also have a jiu-jitsu program and an MMA program, which have grown pretty big, but we're very strict about our clientele on that. Great instructors. So discipline's a big portion of what we do too. You know, one of the requirements, especially in the MMA program, is that the people who come in, we let them know that, you know, we'll do background checks, and we'll make sure that if they're fighting outside of the gym, they won't be in our gym. You know, this is not, we're not trying to develop thugs out there. You know, guys that really want to learn just self-defense, they want to use MMA, maybe they want to fight, fine. So I would say 90% of them don't actually want to get in a cage and fight, but they want to learn how to fight, and they love watching UFC, that kind of stuff. They want to do the training. They have no inkling to get in a cage and actually get a chance of getting beat up. And we try to, the ones that do, we're like, do you really want to do that? You know, it's dangerous. You know, you can get hurt. You know, for what? For just to put on a show for somebody? No, we try. You know, we do have them do it, but that's not something we encourage. We just rather have them in there because they're trained. It's just another avenue for us to help people kind of empower themselves. We have a yoga program, same type of thing. We have a kickboxing program, huge kickboxing program. My wife Patty runs that program, one of the best in town. Been doing that since 1995. Well over 100 members in doing kickboxing. And I actually started a kickboxing program back in 95 before anybody else in town. And the reason I did it is because, again, my goal is to teach self-defense, to empower people, and the people that need it the most were afraid to come into martial arts gyms, like females. Most females need that self-defense, but they don't want to go into a karate school or boxing gym if it's super intimidated, and rightly so sometimes, you know. So the kickboxing program was a way for us to get women into class and actually teach them self-defense, because our kickboxing program isn't your typical aerobics class where somebody's just saying, come on girls, let's kick and punch, punch, push up, you know, which is a great workout, but there's no self-defense application. Our instructors try to incorporate, this is how you throw the punches, this is how you throw the kicks, here's a combination you're gonna work on, this is what you're visualizing, you know, visualizing in the fight, you know, making sure when you throw your punches, you're seeing this attack. Again, it's a very soft version of self-defense where they're not intimidated by having a partner, they just have a back. But at the same time, we're doing, which is our goal here at Longoria, which is to teach people practical self-defense in a way that's comfortable for them. You know, and hopefully we encourage them, hey, maybe you should try, you know, they go, I really love this self-defense part. Now they feel empowered, I'm gonna try the Krav Maga class, or I'm gonna try the Taekwondo class, and kind of go from there. So that's kind of how my school is kind of based. This school itself is one of the, if not the largest, we're trying to kind of verify it, but it's one of the largest martial arts facilities in the country that specializes in just self-defense. There's some other schools that some schools that are big, but half the school is a gymnasium. I mean, it's like a Planet Fitness or something.
Right.
You know, where ours is, we do have this little gym, but it's not. I don't even count the members. This doesn't count as our membership. This is just an added benefit perk for our members to have a place to kind of work out a little bit more if they wanted to. But our whole membership is based on any one of our programs that are martial arts based.
That's very cool. And you mentioned your family a little bit, and your family's around here. My 5-year-old's here. He loves your son. He loves you too. And your wife Patty is involved. Can you talk a little bit about them and how you've done kind of a family business out of it?
Well, yeah. One of the things about this business is a second shift job business, because most of our classes are in the evenings during the week. So to make that viable for a whole family, you know, and that's one of the things I meant. We're part of the GTMA, which is a Global Traditional Martial Arts Organization. It's not the largest organization in the country yet, but we are the fastest growing martial arts organization in the country. That's not me saying that, that's the industry magazines out there that proclaimed us as the newest and the fastest growing organization in the country, and they anticipate us to be, in the next 10 years, the largest organization in the country. I did belong to a different organization, which is the largest one. I was one of the senior ranks, and I left that organization more because of the direction they were going. I didn't fit my philosophy, which was different from theirs. I'll just put it that way. So myself and a couple of other senior ranks followed our Grand Master, GKB, and we formed another new organization. So I'm one of the founders of the new organization, and our goal is to as an organization, is to help school owners across the country develop their programs that are successful, that teach traditional martial arts and values, And part of that is teaching them about family, having it based towards families, and it starts with their own family. So in a long about way to get to your question is, yes, our whole family's involved. That's what makes our program, I think, and our school so successful, because people walk in and the first thing they do is they meet my wife, Patty. Patty is the program manager. She actually does all the hard work. She does all that part. She's also our head kickboxing instructor. She's also a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. She's also a black belt and expert level instructor of Krav Maga. She does help with the Krav Maga classes and certifications, but her main focus is the conditioning classes of kickboxing and then the yoga programs. My son Rudy has been in the program since he was 3, been in the school since he was born, obviously. Actually got into the program when he was 3, and he's been teaching since he was about 9 or 10 years old. So he's super proficient in what he does. He graduated from the University of Nebraska with a degree in elementary education. He works in the Lincoln Public School System as a substitute teacher. Every week he gets offered a full-time position. He just doesn't want to do that because he wants to be here and run this school full-time. He loves teaching, and so he kind of gets the substitute system right now, especially with as much as they need. He basically works every day.
Yep.
You know, and he's got the best of both worlds, where he gets to teach and work with the kids, but he doesn't have to do the really hard work of planning, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of done for him.
He gets to be the fun uncle.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's like the grandpa, you know, have
Yep.
all the fun and then send him home.
Yeah.
And then he does that at the public school system, and then he comes here at night and teaches classes. So he's not only is he very proficient in what he does because he was growing up doing it, but he's been professionally trained to teach. In fact, that's kind of one of the things we pride ourselves on, is making our programs accessible to big families. We have the biggest family ever in our school. There's actually 16 of them in the family.
Oh, wow.
This is all one family, not a combined family.
Yeah.
14 kids and mom and dad, and all of them are members of the school. So
Very cool.
on a family membership, they definitely
They're
got their money.
maximizing
Yes,
that, yep.
yes. And we're losing money on that family.
Sure.
But again, that's what makes it so special, is that the whole family's here training, you know, and they're all part of the different programs, all different things. And that's what we like to have, is that, you know, maybe the kids are in Taekwondo class, dad's downstairs doing Krav Maga, mom's doing kickboxing or yoga, or vice versa. It could be any of those type of things. We do like to cater to a family that comes in, because then they kind of hold each other accountable that
Sure.
way. You know, if somebody doesn't want to go, nope, we're all going. You know, so the longevity of them in the program is so much greater.
And that kind of leads us to how to get involved. You mentioned family plans, things like that. I know you've always directed me to Patty for that kind of information, but do you want to kind of just give to people who to contact, how to contact if they were interested in learning more?
We offer a free trial week for anybody in any of our programs, because we want people to come in and actually experience the whole atmosphere of our school, because we feel that's one of the strongest things we have. It's just the family atmosphere of the school. There's no nobody comes in and feels intimidated, like, oh, you know, these guys are scary, or kind of thing, or they're going to do this. We feel that the more they come in, they realize that we want them, one, to experience as many classes as they can, to meet all the instructors, meet other families, meet other students, ask questions, ask as many questions as possible. We want anybody that comes into our school, they join because they wanted to, not because we have some slick sales system or ad, and we trick them into signing something. One, we don't do contracts, we just do it month to month. That way, if they're not happy with it, all they have to do is give us a 30-day notice, they're out of the membership. And the other side of the point is, if I'm not happy with them, I can give them a 30-day notice, and they're out of the program if they don't fit our system, because we want to make sure we all mesh. Again, that's kind of why we do the week trial. Everybody gets a chance for, one, to check out the classes, two, check out our instruction, how we actually work with our students, and three, it gives us a chance to do an evaluation as well, to let them know if we think we're going to be able to help them in the needs they have. For the little ones, it's whether they're ready for the program or not. For the adults, it kind of gives us a chance to look at them and see if, you know, this is what you told us you want. I think this is the way you should go in the program. We might try to help them direct to one program or the other to meet the needs they have. But with the kids, We offer it once. We only offer that trial week once a month. For the adults, they can try it out anytime. But for the kids, we found that with the kids, they're already scared anyways when they come in. And so if they're the only new kid, they feel really like, okay, they gotta have one instructor they're working with them. You know, everybody else has a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
They all know something. I don't know anything. So they're already intimidated. They already feel like, I don't know anything. So we found in the last few years, we've always done a trial week and then bring them all in at the same time. So we might have, 12 to 20 kids trying out the class at the same time. But when they come in, it's like, you're new, I'm new, awesome, I got friends. So they're not feeling so intimidated. And then the students that we already have, we'll work with them as being mentors. Okay, we assign one of our white belts to a brand new trial kid. So now they're feeling like, I get to be a teacher. So basically that's part of our system of developing leadership skills in our kids. So they actually, at our white belt level, they get to practice those leadership skills by having a mentor, a brand new kid coming in, to be their friend, to help them do the techniques, to make sure they understand. It's okay if I make a mistake. I'm not going to get yelled at and screamed at, and I can still have fun and enjoy what I'm doing. So the trial week we offer once a month for the kids, and we have those on our marquee. People can find us on Facebook at Longoria's Tactical Martial Arts webpage, longoriastacticalmartialarts.com, or just call the school and we can give them all kinds of information. We're very forthcoming with everything we have, whether it be all the membership pricing, that kind of stuff. We don't try to get you in here and then try to hard sell it. We don't do that. In fact, at the end of our trial week, we just tell the parents, if you're interested and want to continue on, go talk to Patty at the front counter. We don't make them all, come up here and give them a hard sales pitch. We're not into that. It's never been my style. And so it's always been more about you join because you want to, not because I'm trying to trick you into doing it.
And we found it to be a great program. Our 5-year-olds in it. I've got friends that have done it at older ages, and it's just wonderful. So if you want to learn more and get involved, feel free to reach out to Dan and Patty and get after it. So anything else you want to add before we close up?
If you're interested in finding out the martial arts, please call. You can call or just go to our website and kind of Google some stuff that way. But at the very least, I think, and maybe you can attest to this, I think even on the phone, nothing can give value to what we're trying to say about unless you actually come in and just watch some classes. Even if it's not during trial week, you come into the school and just watch how the classes work and how the parents are, other parents are, how the kids work together, or even as an adult come in and watch some of our classes to see how the instructors and the students communicate together. I think then you kind of realize, this is something I want to be part of, because it's just that kind of a welcoming atmosphere, and you can't get that over the phone or on a web page. I think you really have to kind of come in and kind of experience it. And I think that's our biggest selling point right there.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a fantastic place, and it's Longoria's. They're on 56 and Cotner. I'm sorry, 56 Cotner and O. And yeah, reach out and come check them out. So thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a great day.